Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Kenny Hawkins. We're here at Tyler's CCGs. I'm talking to Paden Richard about his. You actually won tonight, right?
Yeah.
You won with this deck. So he took our locals tonight with this deck. We're gonna walk through it a little bit and see what we've got. So right off the bat, what's your spirit and champion here?
So we're starting with Raine and Luna.
Okay. So you're running Luna here. What's the dark package? Is it just for shade or like shade and treat?
Yeah, it's basically for offering. There's a few different packages we run that I run. The main one obviously is going to be shade with the treat package. There's a few different random things in the sideboard that helps with this, but it's a lot of mid-range with mixed with some self-mill.
Okay. So I actually played you in what was that, round 2?
Yeah.
So lots of work coming out of Raine, even if it's just for something like a mutation ping and stuff like that. Like just trying to get a target off. It's really a lot more fluid than I would have expected. Like looking at it on paper, it kind of looks like it's broken up into different segments and it wouldn't work well together.
Yeah.
But it really fires. If I remember right, your shard package is a Corona and 3 Nightmares, right?
Yeah. So we're running just
Isaac, do you
3
want
Nightmare,
this one?
1 Fizzy,
Fizzy. Okay.
and then 6 Basics.
All right.
I'm just gonna
Cool.
show it.
So is the Nightmare shard just there for utility, or is
It's strictly for milling.
Okay.
So once you get the process rolling, as long as your mills aren't terrible, it can flow pretty smoothly. It helps fill the grave for your big threats, your big offering, as well as for some of your other plays outside of that.
Yeah, and by big threats, it's shade. Like shade is the problem child, as far as like as the opponent.
Well, there's post sideboard. There's a couple more threats we side in that utilize the discard a lot more. There's a couple main deck threats as well, other than shade.
Yeah.
As far as towers go, we do run Surging Shadows and then Surging Flames as our special.
Okay.
It is a mid-range deck that can go aggro, depending on your opening hand, and then as far as your mills go. So being behind is something that's very uncommon. It's not uncommon to go 3 and 4 towers deep before you stabilize and then start taking over from there.
Okay. Cool.
So this will help smooth out your aggro matchup, especially if they hit it on turn 3 or 4. If you're behind, this can just blow the game out of the water, especially if you have a follow up to that turn.
Right. What's your biggest target for Surging Shadows? I know it's like half that Yami effect. Go grab something if you're behind on towers.
It really depends. If you have a good enough board, it's going to reoccur something that's going to give your opponent fits, whether it be your Ravager, your Scavenger, or another dragon to boost up your package on board. It's whatever's going to get you that last bit of damage or get you what you need as far as, because other than this tower, there's no real way to recycle discarded units other than the shuffle effects.
So you're running more of a dragon package than a Blazewalker package, if I remember right.
Yes.
If you can walk me through that a little bit and just show me how that, because like I saw it fire and it's consistent, and I'm just kind of impressed, frankly, at how like consistent it actually runs. And all I was seeing were like arcs and Leahs coming out.
So we run the very basic dragon package, 3 deranged,
Okay.
3 juvenile, 3 egg, and then 3 glittering. This was actually a different card, but then I kept running into situations where I needed more red units and or more dragons, and just adding the 12th one it's made a big difference just from the last week or so.
Right.
But basically, if you don't open 2 or more, they go straight to the bottom. If you open any other 1-drop, they go straight to the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you open 2 or more, it's an automatic keep because you can go straight aggro with it. And then as long as you have a 1-drop in hand, you just mulligan the rest.
Okay.
Because they essentially become fodder towards when you transition from your early game to your mid game.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then when you transition from your mid game to your late game, these become essentially bombs because you can shuffle all 3 off your Leahs, and then if you draw in all 3, it's just an automatic 3,000 power on the board. With quickness.
Yeah, it's hard to say no to. So we've got the bone scabs right here off the top.
Yeah, other 1-drops, there's actually not a whole lot. We run one of these. There's, I think, 1 or 2 more in the side deck, and then trusty Sharp Beast.
Man, that is just it's such trusty tech. Like, love it.
Yeah, basically if you have this and 1 or 2 dragons, you pitch the dragons and keep this always.
Yeah, makes sense.
Going into the 2-drops, there's a huge amount of 2-drops. We run 2 Ruka, which is a new addition actually tonight, and then 2 GZ. This was a 3rd GZ, and I kept running in the same situation as before where I ran out of fire units to bring back. I actually didn't read this card until my game with you.
Yeah.
So there was a couple misplays with that. But still, being able to have removal in the form of a creature is huge because the deck runs less than 4 or 5 spells.
Right.
So having additional 2 plus these 2 gives you more cards, more units to offer, as well as just straight threats.
Yeah, I'm really a fan of Ruka, even though you don't get that second ability with Luna here. Just the plus 500 gets Brawler right off the 2-drop, so you're looking at a 1500 Brawler for 2. That's straight value anyway.
Well, the problem I was having is that when I was facing mutation decks, basically if they dropped out on turn 2, if I didn't have an immediate answer, I kind of just lost. Because, yes, I could just blow the board up generally, but it was just coming back from that is having, they have 4 tokens at that point. So it's like, if I don't draw well enough out of my next few turns, it's just kind of game over. Drawing this against a 0/0/2 just kind of, it's just a no-brainer. It just kind of just destroys it.
Yeah, because the only consistent removal it looks like you have for those like large token boards are like your Tower of Surging Flames. So God forbid they hit that at the wrong time and you're not behind on towers.
Yeah.
Like,
majority of the time, unless you're going against a slower control deck, you're always going to be behind on towers. There's very few situations where you're not. I mean, yeah, you can go straight aggro and just punish your opponent, but then there's times whenever that you are going to fall behind and it's not going to be. I mean, they're not going to be dead cards. Then we run 2, 3 0/0/2s. Obviously, it's a no-brainer to include. It's a free ping. Basically, you can just go down to 0-card hand with this on the board, and you have infinite value because everything you draw, you can just pitch. Everything that you don't care to target, and then ping something else with arcs and stuff like that.
Or even the free Raine, which is so good. Yes. I love that play.
Because you can even, if your opponent has a 1K, you can target this and then pitch an arc to kill their 1K as well as get the free ping off this. And it just punishes control decks. They don't really have any kind of straight answer to it. Some decks do, but as far as it's just basically red decks and then decks that run that main deck removal, board wipes. I'm sorry. Right. But against ones that main deck board wipes outside of black, it's just kind of slow to go drop this on turn 2, and then they have 2 turns to answer it. If they don't answer it, they're probably dead by then. And if they're tapping out on turn 4 to play some kind of board wipe, then they're probably so far behind that it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
The other part of it is we run 3 arcs and then 3 Leas as part of the Blazewalker package.
I think I saw you hardcast one of these tonight.
This one comes off Raine a lot.
Yeah.
It's really good. I actually include this as part of the Blazewalker package just because it's not technically a Blazewalker, but it does get hit off Raine, as well as if you draw a bunch of Blazewalkers, it's just, if you mill it, it's a free 15 draw, blow something up, basically. Right. And the other part of the Blazewalker is the Raine.
Right.
Basically anything that's not Argent gets played off this.
Right.
So, I mean, we do run a lot of Argent cards, but it's not a huge...
It's not enough to actually affect, like, the probability.
It's also a draw. It's basically a play whatever, or draw it. So,
right.
It's the automatic include. Plus, if you don't have anything else going on and you open with this, it can essentially draw you a card and or play something.
Right.
That's as far as that goes into the red package.
Yeah.
Then the black package, obviously, is going to be 3 Treat. And then 3 Granite Gargoyle, 1 Shade, and then the random tech is a Thief.
Yeah. I actually really like Thief. Not just here. And again, like, this is coming from me, like, I've been trying to work out, like, a great behemoth list for a while. And Thief is one of those things that I really just want to slot in because it's Like the offering for Blazewalker packages is just so good. I really enjoy this card.
So the only downside to Thief over like your Scavenger is that if you do it on their turn, you can't play it.
Right.
So, but it does get you potentially draw cards, blow something up, or if it makes it through all the way to your turn, you're just playing whatever kind of huge threat they have. It gets back their devourments. It gets back any kind of late game threats they have. If they have a behemoth in there, it's really good against that. Whereas it counts it as it being in your hand. Shade's obviously the big finisher. This can come down as early as turn 2 or 3.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't need it to function because of the early game package. But drawing this can just be huge blowouts against some other decks. Your mill package. This was originally a 2 of, and then I ran 2 and then 2 Shrieker as opposed to the Thief.
Right.
But having like 21 drops isn't really. It's good, but it's like I kind of missed it after I played it that way.
Right. And it's just the versatility there with Granite Gargoyle. Even if you're not going to ever drop it for 5, just to have the option of what to do with your hand.
Opening this in 0/02 is basically an auto pitch the other 3.
Right.
Because if you have a turn 1 play, it's okay, but being able to mill going into their turn or going into your turn or whatever, and then dropping your 0/02, you can just pitch everything in your hand. You don't care.
Yeah.
And then treats is self-explanatory. It's
Right.
just busted.
Well, I was talking to Michael Hoskins, another player here, about the Shade Treat combination here, but it was just almost impossible to answer Shade as a threat because it was so consistent to drop Treat, immediately drop it back, drop 7 cards, offering 7, play it out of the discard pile.
So, like your main black decks are going to mill more, but this one, if you're drawing these, it kind of doesn't matter as long as you have this in play or a way to get it in play.
Right.
This essentially is 3,000 damage, draw 4 cards.
Right.
As long as they're in the deck or they're already in the discard. It can smooth out your discard as well by just milling cards that you don't want to necessarily draw.
And just to be clear, we're talking about like Arc and its interactions here and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. So if you can get to the point to where they're all in the deck or they're all in the discard, this card just becomes basically kill 3,000 power, draw 4 cards. Or if you're pushing for game, if you hit something off the Raine, it puts free power into play.
Right.
But it's busted.
Especially because the only real answer that I found when I was playing against you was to try to get Shade back in your hand, especially those turn 2, turn 3 plays. And Granite Gargoyle was such good tech to just like, nope, I don't care, gonna drop it anyway, and we're gonna keep playing it and have a bad day. Like,
yeah, the only time that this is really that them bouncing and then you discarding it is really slow is if they have like a scavenger, which it's an auto kill as soon as they drop it. Basically, they have to pump it, and if they don't pump it, they lose it.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, the bouncing it's a setback. But if they're bouncing this, they're not bouncing or killing your other threats.
Right. And I mean,
if you're playing like all your 1-drops and then offering this, then if they're bouncing this and they're taking 3k damage.
Right. Like when that takes a priority over bouncing like a token off an air tower.
Yes.
And you're still getting value because those tokens would otherwise be dead. Like it's just so.
Yeah, so
good.
Yeah, so once you hit your 0/02, you don't care about what cards is in your hand.
Right.
I mean, you do, but you don't. As long as you have 1 card to bring this back and mill, that's all you care about. So as soon as I bounce this, okay, I'm going to produce 2 tokens that you're not going to answer, as well as mill 3, discard this from my hand that was in my hand originally.
Okay. Yeah, well, was there anything else you wanted to talk about? Like, you want to talk about the sideboard package a little bit?
Yeah, as far as sideboard, it's kind of incomplete. It's I think 14 cards. We run one of this against blue just to be able to search more off, as well as against aggro. Opening this against something that has 1Ks is it's automatic 15 or 25
or
total.
less. Like trying to get those like sky recruits off.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't even keep them on the board.
Yeah. So this basically ensures that I'm going to kill if you're dropping 500s or if you're dropping 500s, this is going to kill 3 off one activation. And then we run another copy of this. This comes out it goes in for a gargoyle. If you're trying to go aggro and they have a lot of nice threats, the mill isn't so much as important as removing their threats and then playing them. because sometimes their threats can be bigger against them than they can against you. If you're going for more of an aggro matchup, you're still going to play this. This will come in for your gargoyles as well. It just depends on what you're playing against. This requires an immediate answer. If they don't, then it can just have free reign against anything that runs units.
Right.
This, it substitutes your turn 1 plays. It can get your milling going, as well as it's just a 1k beater.
Right.
We run the other 2 copies of this against Aragon, because Devourment is... We have infinite removal, but Devourment is infinite as well.
Right.
So, basically, if they can't reanimate stuff through Hoenna, then it can just blow things out of the water.
Oh my god, Hoenna Conjurer Supreme has been the source of my nightmares for like 2 weeks now.
Card's ridiculous.
She hurts my feelings.
This is a 2-drop. It comes against aggro. It's also a blanket answer to 0/02. So if you're so far behind, this can just you just basically just kill their 0/02, and then after that you just blow up all the tokens.
Yeah. That card is so good.
Yeah. I don't know why, but how stuff.
There's not really anything I can point out. Be like, that card is so bad. Like, really, all of this.
I thought it had. I thought it had quick cast for whatever reason, but yeah, if you play this against 0/02, if you have an Arc in this card, that's your automatic pull up their board.
Right.
So you kill their 0/02 off the Arc, then this resolves.
Right.
So it doesn't matter what they do after that.
Yeah, you're just picking up stragglers at that point.
This comes in against big threats, things that play more of a 3k-ish range, just because you can ping it and then blow it up whatever's remaining.
Right.
It does hit some 4ks if you are lucky enough to get the Dark Tower.
Yeah.
This comes in against control. Basically, once you mill 1, it's always live. You can just ride the back off this, because unless they run main deck ability hate, it just control has no way around it, period. Other than chronostasis, shards, stuff like that.
But then you're paying 3 or like 6 for a 3-drop. Like
you're
still
4.
winning the
or 4
the trade
if you're playing shards.
Right.
So if they're running Phantasmal Guard and stuff like that, you leave in the red tower. But if you're playing big threats, you play this just because it can just blow something up.
Yeah.
To drop Juggernaut, obviously you have target attack through Shade, but this is also another direct out to it as well as this.
Yeah, absolutely. Just having the spot removal there when you need it.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice to have Fizzy Shard. It's always nice to have something to fall back on in a pinch, but Corona Shard, Tower of Fire, money.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for talking about your deck today. And I would say that I'd love to see it in action, but I have, and it kicked me up and down the street. So, yeah, thank you so much.
Yep.
Have a good one.
Thank you.